Okay, I'm going to start with all the materials up here. So this is pre-build. The buckles, this is for vertical adjust, hooks, this is for horizontal adjust, and we've got some strap slack adjusters too. These are car rivets used in car internal upholstery. The original supplier cancelled, they did not have stock, so these are the nearest closest alternative. We've gone for polypropylene webbing because the load is fairly light. It's not exposed to physical abuse, so this should be ideal. Plus the load is actually vertical, it's not as if it's twisting or anything like that. So I've got two dimensions there. I've got a heavy yarn weight yarn, so it's number 31 gram weights in my system. I've got some carabiners as a backup for hooking systems. I haven't actually used this before. This is for applying the plastic snaps, and these are T8s, which are the largest size. I've got some T5s as backups, but the T8s are the best. Steel rings, we've got some fairly large diameters, so these are, I can't remember off the top of my head what these are, but they're at least, I think these are 14 or 12 mil, and I've got a punch die set in there too. For adjusting cord, we've gone for a very low cost option. No, you can't see that in there. But these are tent adjusters, very cheap and easily available in stock. So for applying these, I've got, and the steel rings in a polypropylene, I've got a variety of punches on a nylon board, and just in case a 6mm drill bit, just in case it doesn't work. For making custom cords, just for samples, I've gone for some crimps which can be hammered and punched. This is braided nylon cord with polyester blend. And I've gone for two types of elastic, depending on how they feel, how they're stitched into the edge of the fabric. I've gone for a flat webbing elastic and for a round elastic, and I'll see how both of these perform. In terms of sheet material now, this is EPE, this is quite thin. It's usually bonded together to make various thicknesses. I wanted to go thin because I wasn't sure. I don't know how thick I want the actual application to be, so I'll sandwich it up to make the right thickness. Probably a bit too thin, to be honest. That's bonded as it is there, you can see that's bonded. I've gone for non-woven polypropylene, which will be a backing, a very heavy gram weight. It's about 200 or 250. I've gone for white and black. The white is actually heavier than this black. And that's because when it's not exposed to the sun, when it's not exposed to the user, this is a very heavy gram weight, cheap fabric which can be used as a backing to offer body and thickness. I've gone for 2 rolls of polypropylene. It's a lot here. These are standard stock sheets of 1 by 2 meters, 0.5 and then 0.8. You can see there is I'm not sure if you see it in the video, but this is the light, this is the 0.5, this is the 0.8. I'm not sure how these perform in our sewing machine, but we'll see. Then we go on for the standard material, which is about 20 meters here of polyester cordure with a PU backing, it's waterproof. 610D, it's a heavy GSM, and that's the main fabric for the back of the product. Then we've gone for the bottom layer of the product, which we're using a different material here. This is the grip. This is waterproof polyester. It's about 200 GSM, and we'll back this with we'll probably double it over. So the top side has got these PVC dots which are bonded to the fabric, and that is your grip surface. And then on the bottom, where it's making contact with the seat, for example, you'd have the same thing. We won't go all the way over, I think halfway, because this material is about $2 a square metre, I think, $2 a metre. Very nice material, ideal for the application. Then we've got our mesh, which is a polyester mesh. GSM of this, I think, is about 200-ish. It's in my system, and it's PVC coated. So this is not too heavy that it's difficult to stitch, but it's large enough that light can still go through it, and it's extremely strong. If we want to reduce the aperture size, we can do on production, but this material is very, very common and therefore very cheap. My range of zippers, supplier made a mistake, so I've doubled up. These are, I think, 3 metre ones. I think 3 metres? No, these are 180 centimetres. And there's 20 and 18, so they did 18 instead of 180, mistake. This is grey board, and this material is recycled, it's cheap. This is 2mm-ish, 2mm thick, so this offers body and thickness in terms of where you're folding something. I think we can stitch through this as well. So this is very cheap material which can offer sort of folding point and feeling point of product. Here's more non-woven PVC, the same as this material, but it's non-woven. These are samples before I ordered bulk, but these are not very strong. They stretch, they rip really easily. They're waterproof, very cheap. You have to go for very high order quantities to get your own sort of composition. But it's a good long-term option. You can progress from this to this, and you might save $1 on production. And we've got a variety of other sort of. This is the one we've got now, I think, number 5. And there's tons of these, really tons of them. I don't know if there's non-woven in here actually. Non-woven is the first one. There we go. Yeah, something like this, but a heavier GSM would be ideal. But again, once production ramps up, that's when you go for something custom. Right now, these are we're dealing more in stock. I then went for a competitor's product just to sort of rip it apart and see. It came in the bag, so we'll fold ours so it forms a bag. So we're using the same material, but folded the other way to make it into a bag, so we won't have the cost of a bag. They've also made their bag from, this is probably PVC, it's not TPU, TPU is expensive, this is PVC backed polyester 610. It's interesting they use that. And then the product itself, this will be the same material that we've got, that one there, that one, which is the 610. Doesn't feel like a 900, and they've got this padding kind of. This is stock material produced by my machine. It's got the wadding in between it, so I thought we could use EPE and in some positions to create that sort of padded feel. That will be later on. All the straps are polypropylene, and they've got the common, very small area X stitch, 25mm. Buckles. We're using double the size. So the material itself is PVC backed, so this material is waterproof, top and bottom. The sides are just the same material without any backing. Zippers number 5. Zipper head's not waterproof. They've got a few pockets on it, so it's sort of cheap and rusty. Same material on the front, nothing very special there. Alright, so that concludes all the material.